Good evening, everybody. This is the media guy here. Today, I'm here to do a double feature on the Gremlins movies. Gremlins 1 and Gremlins 2, the new batch. Now, I assume that you guys seen this movie and the sequel multiple times before, since everyone on YouTube has talked about these movies. Andre Meadows, aka Black Nerd Comedy, Nostalgia Critic, and Minty Comedic Arts. Which, by the way, shoutouts to you guys seeing this video. But just in case you get... Sorry for the stutters there. Just in case you haven't heard of these movies, have no fear, there's always a description on the back. Wait, sorry, there was a little lag there. There's always a description. When the rules are broken, mischief multiplies in Gremlins. One minute your hair will stand on end, the next you will be laughing when supposedly gremlins, supposedly gentle furballs, wreak havoc. The trouble gets doubled in Gremlins 2, the new batch, as Billy and Gizmo must face off against a new batch of gremlins who definitely think New York is their kind of town. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, you can already tell that this spells trouble. Yeah, I just did a double feature on these movies. Sorry about that. My phone's been lagging a bit today and messing up with the recordings. So just ignore that as you're watching this. So what I was trying to say is, these movies are just downright hilarious. While the first movie is more like Christmas horror related, the sequel is starts to dive more into comedy gold territory. Kind of like old school Looney Tunes, if you know what I mean. So what do I think? Like I was trying to say, these movies are hilarious. It's like one of those movies you're bound to watch over and over again with your friends and family members. I mean, there's so many great moments about this movie, about both movies. The first thing I like about this movie is seeing Gizmo for the first time when he gets introduced. He's such a cute little critter. I mean, he looks pretty harmless when you think about it. I mean, he's kind of like, okay, I don't want to sound mean or anything, but he's kind of like a little bear or something. I mean, I know that he's a Mogwai, and Mogwais probably don't resemble bears at all, which you are right, but I'm just saying, he's like a little baby bear when you think about it. When we get to see the gremlins multiply in the first film, they really seem to wreak havoc throughout the city where Billy and his girlfriend and his family lives. And it's right during the Christmas season. Oh boy. Sorry about that, my phone was lagging again. It was quite crazy seeing these little creatures run around Billy's hometown, causing mischief and mayhem, and getting into all sorts of crazy shenanigans. Messing with the power in different buildings, messing with the traffic light, trying to kill and eat everybody. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Another thing I like about the first movie is that when we get to see, there's a part where Billy and Kate and Gizmo are going to a movie theater to stop all the gremlins like Stripe and his minions, we can see them watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is a Disney film. And it's kind of rare seeing Warner Brothers reference a Disney movie. Well, to be fair, when Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out 4 years later, we have seen our favorite Disney and Warner Brothers characters appear together on screen in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But that's a subject for a whole other video. So yeah, that's the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs bit did get a little bit of a chuckle out of me. I guess Warner Brothers had to ask Disney for permission if they want to reference Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is understandable. And I guess the Gremlins seem to be calming down a bit until they wreak havoc again. I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the first movie. Now for the sequel, Gremlins 2: A New Batch, things will be, let's just say it dives more into more like watching a 1.5 hour Looney Tunes cartoon. That's right. The Gremlins 2: A New Batch is nothing like the first movie. There's so many slapstick humor, and it's like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon. Which is funny how the opening and beginning of the movie starts and ends with Porky Pig, Bugs Bunny, and Daffy Duck. Okay, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck were trying to do like their typical shenanigans while trying to start Gremlins 2: A New Batch. And it ends with Porky Pig trying to say that's all, folks, until Daffy interrupts and does it himself. Sorry for the little spoilers. And this time it takes place in a television building called the Clam Cable Network. And in real life, that probably sounds like a silly ninth-wave television studio, if you know what I mean. But hey, I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it. So I guess Billy and Katie are now working at the Clam Cable Network instead of Billy working at a bank and Katie working at a bar due to their previous encounters with the Gremlins from the first movie. There is a bit of a fourth wall break in the sequel, while the Gremlins stop the film and cause mayhem in the projection booth, only for Hulk Hogan himself. Yes, Hulk Hogan is in the sequel. Tells the Gremlins to stop their crazy shenanigans and let the viewers watch the sequel. Now that's like a wild fourth wall break. That's one of the things I like about this movie. Now the voice cast for Gizmo and Stripe and Mohawk, I do recognize some of them. Like Howie Mandel does the voice of Gizmo in both movies, and Frank Welker did provide the voice for Stripe in the first movie, and probably provided his voice for some of the Gremlins in the sequel as well. Now I have been familiar with Howie Mandel and Frank Welker for a while now, and it makes sense considering how the two of them did the voiceover work for Muppet Babies. And yes, I know that Frank Welker is still a very talented voiceover actor. You might know him from his work on the Scooby-Doo franchise, starting with Scooby-Doo Where Are You to HBO Max's Velma, as well as other shows and movies like Dino Mud Dog Wonder, Jabberjaw, Transformers, The Real Ghostbusters, and yes, even the Gremlins movies, Gremlins and Gremlins 2: A New Batch. So the Gremlins movies are fun to watch. And I'm glad they're starting to have a bit of an interesting legacy, considering how they appeared in LEGO Dimensions as playable characters. They were background they were background cameos in Space Jam 2 New Legacy, which is a movie I really enjoy. And they even appeared in the Teen Titans Go episode where they celebrated the 100th anniversary of Warner Brothers. So I guess the people who worked on LEGO Dimensions, Space Jam 2 New Legacy, and Teen Titans Go celebrating the 100th anniversary of Warner Brothers really do seem to acknowledge the Gremlins movies, the first and second movies. I guess they must have either grew up with the movies or they probably knew someone who worked on them, either as a friend or a relative, depending on your point of view. So for Gremlins and Gremlins 2 A New Batch, I give these movies, let's say 5 Mogwais out of 5. Sorry, my phone was lagging there again. So yeah, I give the Gremlins movies 5 Mogwais out of 5. So thank you guys for watching my review of Gremlins and Gremlins 2 A New Batch. And if you guys have any favorite memories from these movies, and if you guys were aware about the Gremlins' interesting legacy, just let me know down in the comments below. Oh, and I almost forgot. The first Gremlins movie had a cameo appearance by Chuck Jones himself, who was looking at one of Billy's drawings. That's actually a cute moment that I almost forgot to mention. So I guess the Gremlins movies had like 2 different connections to Looney Tunes, which is kind of funny and ironic, considering how Daffy Duck and Gizmo and the Brain Gremlin appeared in the aforementioned Teen Titans Go celebrating the 100th anniversary of Warner Brothers, along with the Titans themselves and Yogi Bear. Hey. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I hope you guys are still having a great New Year's. And thank you guys again for watching my review of Gremlins and Gremlins 2 The New Batch. Oh, and I guess you guys have got to tell me that there's also a TV series on HBO Max, which is meant to be like a prequel to the movies. Well, I am familiar with that show, since I did saw clips of that show on YouTube. Oh no, I almost did forget that we have heard some rumors in early 2024 that there's going to be a new Scooby-Doo direct-to-video film called Scooby-Doo Gremlins Get Away. Not sure if it's meant to be like a crossover with Not sure if it's meant to be like a crossover movie with the characters from the Gremlins movies, or something else. Sorry that I almost forgot to bring that up.